Recording. Okay. All right, counting in. Here we go.
Sweet. All right.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Kevin Marcus Miller, the Marketing Clarity Doc. Today is a very special day. It's all virtual lesson 16. You know what time it is. So today I have the man himself. This is my personal mindset coach, Sam Becker. Today we're going to talk to you about CEO mindset, how to get your game right, how to execute in your business, and what it takes to be a CEO. So Sam, what's up, bro? How you living?
Doing great, man. I'm excited to be here, collaborating with you. You're a great dude, man. I've had nothing but positive things working with you. So I'm excited to enlighten the group and the audience.
Yes, sir. Awesome. So how did we connect, bro?
We connected because you came to me initially, right, with some limiting beliefs. You know, as some of your viewers might already know, that you do have a little bit of limiting beliefs towards what you can accomplish, considering the fact that, you know, there's hard conditions involved, and being an entrepreneur is freaking hard, right? So when you came to me, we were initially just kind of working on all those things, how we can go against the self-sabotage, go against the limiting beliefs, and really kind of start to tweak little things in your day-to-day, and really start giving you momentum and confidence, and help you really shape up to the person that you know that you can be. Otherwise you would have quit a long time ago, right? So it's been awesome watching you kind of blossom into the person that you already are. I'm just kind of breaking through those little barriers a little bit, which is amazing. So yeah, I'm excited.
Man, thank you, man. I appreciate that. I respect you so much. My favorite two people to talk to are you and my therapist. So
yeah, dude. Oh, hey, when you connect with great people, man, there's nothing, nothing better to look forward to when you connect with real good, solid people.
Right.
You know, they're my therapist too. Like, I love going to my therapist. The same reason. She has to listen to me. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
So I'm actually curious, because I don't know the story. How did you even become a mindset coach? Like, is that, you can't go to school for that,
right? Good question. I don't even know. I don't know if you can go to school for that. I didn't. I didn't go to school for it. My qualifications really come from, like any entrepreneur, self kind of education, right? You put yourself out there to learn what you are looking to learn, and in return you start getting confident with it. But really how I became, mindset coach is because I went through such severe limiting beliefs with anxiety. I had such bad anxiety in the past. Like, I'm talking like crippling anxiety. Like, I need to, I chose some very unhealthy habits to cope with that. Like, I chose alcohol. Alcohol was my weapon against anxiety. It gave me that mask of confidence that I thought I needed. You know what I mean? It wasn't until, and this was after years of me fighting off, any type of, no, I don't need professional help. No, I don't need medication. No, I don't need to do anything else. I can beat it. It's a phase, Yeah. I was on an airplane. This is where it gets real. I was on an airplane, and I was sitting down with my girlfriend at the time, and we were going to go visit her family for Christmas. So I'm seated. I'm terrified of flying because I'm claustrophobic. I got anxiety. I don't want to be away from home or comfort zones. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we were seated, and I'm terrified. I buckle my seatbelt. The doors are about to close. My bags are checked in on the deck right below. And I'm like, I need to get off this airplane, man. I need to get off right now, like right now. So I unbuckled. I told my girlfriend, at the time, I was like, I need to leave. I need to get off this plane right now. And she's like, I'll go with you. I'm like, no. You stay. You got family. I don't need to be there. You do. I'm leaving. I can't. I'm freaking out. I'm claustrophobic, all this stuff. So instead of, immediately I got off the plane. My bags went out of the state, Wow. And I'm like, okay, all I have is my wallet and my phone. That's all I have. So I walked to the parking lot, and I was watching her plane take off, and I'm bawling tears at this point. I was like, I don't deserve to get a ride home, because I felt defeated. I wanted to punish myself because I felt like that's what I deserved, And I remember that moment. I was like, oh my God, all right, this is it. I've hit some furiously, ferociously, like low lows, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk home. 6.5 hours later, I get home. That's like 26 miles or so from my house. I walk all the way home. I'm basically crawling. My legs are aching. I got blisters on my ankles. And it was that moment I was like, I'm gonna get some help. And when I did, I found my therapist, and she really helped shape my mind into what it needs to be for me to actually believe in the life that I always knew I could have. Because I think being an entrepreneur, it's inside of us. So when you think about it, you're like, I have all these things that I want to do. I have all these things I want to accomplish. I want to make a huge impact on the world. I want to help others, but I can't because I'm scared. I have anxiety. And that was like my limiting belief. And I couldn't do anything for like 10 years. I let it take over me. And when I finally got help, it was like, you know what? The power of the mind. If you can just overcome this in baby steps, because most people think of it as an overall huge goal, and it's really daunting to people when they first start, because it's like, oh my gosh, building a business, I got to know how to be a CEO. I got to learn how to delegate. I got to learn how to find leads and sell. That makes people not want to start. Let me ask you, Kev, if you knew all of those things going into entrepreneurship, would you have even started?
No, honestly, yeah.
Right? It's the journey across. Like every time you learn something new, it's a new baby step towards your goal, towards the big thing. So once I realized the power of mindset and what it actually is responsible for, and how you can actually control your mindset, I'm like, I'm so passionate about this, man. I really want to change the industry. If you look up any statistics in entrepreneurship, you'll see that mental health is an issue, stress is an issue,
Right.
because we're not equipped mentally to be, to go that route necessarily. We're always taught 9 to 5, get a job, go to college, get a great career out of it,
Yeah.
and then you're in debt. Entrepreneurs take things in a whole different way. So long story, but that's what led me into what made me believe that mindset is the best way for me to really help the world. This is something I'm really passionate about, and I've seen a lot of people really shape up, you included, man. So yeah.
Wow, I'm actually really moved right now, man. Honestly, I have a hard time keeping it together. I actually didn't know all that about you, man.
Yeah.
For real. That's the first time I'm hearing that. So thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, of course, man. I mean, I'm an open book. I mean, I share the story to people that are willing to hear it. So
Yeah.
I think by sharing that message, it really showcases a lot of potential in people that can relate. Let's just say 75% of the world have anxiety, and
Yeah.
they want more. They dream of more, right? But they don't necessarily believe they can do that. That was me not very long ago. Let's say
How
5
long
years,
ago was that?
about 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years is when I really started to get some help. And within the year, I already started feeling much better, because I let my stubbornness aside and said, you know what? If I continue, this is what my life looks like. I can't travel, can't go on trips, road trips. I used to see posts of my friends in high school. They're like in Hawaii, they're in the Bahamas and stuff. They're posting pictures. I'm just like, man, I wish I was able to do that. Not from a financial standpoint, but from like an actual mental standpoint. And I was like, man, that's not a way to live, you know?
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, I just fell in love with entrepreneurship because there's so many opportunities. Most people ask me, why don't you become a therapist? I'm like, that would be awesome, but I want to help them move forward by using what they think that they believe about themselves and really focus forward.
And that's the coaching part, right? Because a therapist is
That's the
not a
coaching part.
coach.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
That
Yep.
makes sense.
Therapist is past, coach is forward. Yeah. So I just fell in love with it, man. I'm really blessed to have the story that I have and reach the impact that I really do on people. So super, super excited. Yep.
Man, that's real.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I was thinking about as you were talking was, when you were saying that you were watching your friends, right? One of the things I was thinking about in the last week, and we were going to talk about in our next session too, was one of the things I've been really struggling with lately is like I keep getting upset at myself that I can't run, right? And then I feel like I'm really missing out,
right,
from my peers. Like I want to be able to play basketball with my son one day, or run, exercise or run or go skydiving or scuba diving, all those things. So
yeah.
I just been in my head about that a little bit lately. So yeah, that really moved me, man. Thank you for that.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to share, man. I mean, that's a great thing that you're aspiring to be able to do. Don't let it hold you back, though. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
Running is not going to make or break your connection with your son. You could still play basketball. It just might not be in the level of capacity that you're used to playing. Doesn't mean you have to completely take away what you enjoy doing. If you want to play horse with somebody, you're still dribbling, you're still having a good time. You don't need to be out of breath and make it a super, hit cardio type of game.
Yeah.
You can still enjoy the game, man. You can still enjoy it. Look at Kobe. Remember he used to practice without the ball in the court.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Mindset. Everyone thought he was crazy. Shaq used to watch him. He was like, this guy's crazy. By the way, shout out to Kobe. 8/24 just passed. So
yes,
we had Kobe Day. Anyway, yeah.
My dog's name was Kobe when I was a kid.
Oh, really? Nice, dude.
Yeah.
Nice. See, that'll do some mindset for you. Give you some extra confidence. See what I'm saying? Yeah, I love it, dude. I love it. Yeah, don't let it hold you back, man. Don't let it hold you back.
I gotta get out of my head on that, bro. So appreciate
We'll
that.
work on that. We'll
work on it. Next session.
There you go.
So every week, what do we actually do? Like, so for people that are like, well, what is a mindset coach? Is it expensive? How does it work? Is it like therapy? Can you break it down, like what it looks like when we meet up?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I like to think of it as therapy for business. But the only reason I say that, because I know it's kind of confusing. Well, you said it's not therapy, it's coaching. It's therapy for business. What I mean by that is, and this is what we do for you also. We kind of, since we meet up on a weekly basis, we kind of assess to see what you've done this past week and how you're feeling about this past week. How do those tasks make you feel? Is it moving you towards your goal, or are you finding frustration in the process? If you're finding frustration in the process, let's figure out what it is that you're finding frustrating and why it's really pushing your buttons. You're great at content. I don't need to tell you to do content. You're amazing at that. I don't need to tell you how to run your VA company, because you're doing amazing with that. Those guys are killing it. I think the best way to really approach or to not approach, but to explain what mindset coaching looks like is to go back. Here's the therapy part, and figure out what's going on, right? Figure out how it's affecting you, and let's do some incompatible behaviors. Incompatible behaviors are going to counter against everything that you thought was true. So, for example, if you are, I'm just kind of pulling this out of thin air here. If you are worried about, focus issues, let's say you have a problem with focusing, I'll probably ask you, well, let's take a step back. What are you doing in those moments when you're trying to focus? Well, I'm slamming down a Snickers bar, I'm drinking a Red Bull, and I'm trying to write this paper. I'm like, okay, well, there we go. Now it's a sugar rush. Very broad example, but if we're going to be focusing on focus, then there's ways to do that. There's ways to really figure out how you work best. I have a client that does that suffers a lot with ADD, and I realized that the second she started telling me I have a hard time focusing. I'm like, well, how about this? What if you did 50 burpees? Right? For those who know burpees, you drop it down, do a push-up, jump back up, and hallelujah, right? You do 50 of those. You know what I'm saying? You do 50 of those, and then you get to the task, because by then you're like, oh, I have this energy that's out. I'm ready. Let's work. And there's also other things too, just simple things. If you're trying to multitask, that's the art of fucking more than one thing up at once, right? If someone else said that, I can't take credit for that one. Someone else said that. I can't remember.
That's amazing,
dude. It's true. It's true.
Wow, that's a great way.
If you are doing, let's just say you're working on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, how many of those are getting 100% of your time?
Right.
You're fucking everything up all at once. You know what I mean? So to focus, take a step back. Let's figure out what you're struggling with when it comes to focus. Is the TV on? Is your phone on? Set a timer. Here's a pro tip for you guys. Set a timer. For those who have heard of the Pomodoro technique, I use it every day. You set a timer, 15, 20 minutes, and you just grind out whatever it is that you need to do, knowing that you only have 15, 20 minutes to do it. Because if you just freeball it, right, and say, I'm going to work on this email, and then Facebook pops up, and you got a text, and then, all these things, you're going to want to jump into those other areas, and your email is going to take 30 minutes longer than it should have. When if you just set a timer for 15 minutes, you focus on doing it, take a 5-minute break, do another Pomodoro technique. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Super, super game changer. That's just a very, very small example, but yeah.
Pro tip.
Pro tip. Exactly, dude. Yeah, exactly. So essentially, therapy for business is what I do. take a step back and let's figure out how to move forward.
Love it. Love
Yep.
it. So I hear you're also in the process of building your team. Is that right?
I am. Yes.
Woo! That's exciting,
Yep.
man.
The
So,
time
so
has
how
come.
that CEO mindset, what's that shift for you, knowing that it's time for you to start delegating? What's the biggest CEO mindset shift you're experiencing right now in your business?
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to start first, honestly. And this is my honest, I don't know if I've even told you this, but I've learned, you learn a lot from the clients that you work with also, helps you really grow into the next stage. This is why I love networking so much.
Mm,
But I learned how to do a lot of delegation from you, just from being in
really?
your group, learning how you did it, because you don't look like a stressed out guy. I look like a stressed out guy. No, I'm kidding. You know what I mean? It's like when you hire the right person to delegate, you know more about this than I do. But for me, what it looks like is, okay, I can't do it all on my own. I'm not supposed to do it all on my own. So if I'm going to half-ass something, again, goes down to the focus thing. If I'm going to half-ass something, it's not going to come out the way I want it to, and I'm going to get frustrated because I have all these other tasks that I still need to get to when I'm still focusing on this. So for me, CEO mindset is really just understanding how to lead a team correctly. And again, a lot of that has been inspired from other entrepreneurs that I've talked to, you especially.
Thank
I
you,
have a
man.
lot of respect for you, Kev. I really do. So, I mean, yeah, that's to me in a nutshell what that, in my current state, that's what that
Mm,
means. Yeah, I'd
thank
love
you.
to hear more actually about you, about how to actually properly delegate. That's really really important.
Yeah, man. I think uh, the weirdest thing about that in general is it for me it became it was actually by necessity, right? So it wasn't that oh, I want to learn more about delegation. It's that, unlike my peers, my body starts to shut down after about 8 hours,
Right. That's
right?
right. I've seen that.
You've
Yep.
seen that firsthand, right?
Hmm.
So we've been on long calls and then you just see what happens to me. And so because of that, right, I have low cardiac output. That means that I have to be incredibly good at delegating.
Right.
I don't have the luxury of half-assing anything. I
Right.
have to execute my part well and
Hmm.
then delegate everything else that I can do even better.
Yeah.
So yeah,
How
big
how has
shout out.
that how has that actually changed your business? I'm really curious.
It's taken me much closer to seven figures much quicker than I actually anticipated because you know, I have a couple businesses and the ones that are growing really fast, typically it's because they have multiple VAs or multiple specialists. So not everything is a VA thing, right? For example, I just hired my first sales associate, right? And that was the huge game changer for me because man, I get drained on these calls. I love doing the calls, man, but I get drained. It's like running a mile, and that's not a way to live.
No.
That's not a way to live. Like I got to take it a lot slower on the calls, and so he came in at the right time, and a mutual friend of ours, hooked us up, and
Yep.
it's just a blessing, man. So
Yeah. That's awesome, man. Yeah. And I remember, looking back in one of our sessions, you were like, dude, I don't think I can make six figures in a day. And I was
yeah,
like, why? Why do you think that's not possible when everybody else that's doing it would say otherwise?
yeah.
It starts right in your mindset. So that just brought me back to that conversation. Like, yeah, when I got to seven figures, I'm like, well, dude, you see, you're already crushing it. We just gotta shift
It,
a
it
couple
might have
things.
it might have been that at the time, um, I thought that the six figures had to be effort work, not passive.
Right.
I
Yep.
think that's where it really stemmed from.
Most people do. Most people think that you need to work 60 hours a week and never see your wife and kids and
Yeah.
never go to fun events ever again. Sit down and grind it out and hustle. Gary V, hustle it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
People think that, and honestly, you have to really understand how you work. You know what I mean? Like what's best for you. You know that taking sales calls is going to be extremely energy draining when you could put that energy somewhere else. Why not just hire someone else, take care of that, which you did, so you have to really understand how you work, because if you don't, you're not going to know how to be successful at all. So
Great.
identifying those mental blocks or personality traits of yours is really going to be beneficial. You're not going to just hire somebody to write emails when they've never read a book in their life, or they don't know the language very well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna really trust them with that process. Right. So how can you really expect yourself to live up to your expectations if you don't believe it and you can't achieve it yourself and do it? You know, so it's really powerful, man. I really, I really do get a lot of value just watching you grind it out, but smart. You do it very intelligently. You're not over here busting your ass and then you're like exhausted. I've only, out of the handful of times that you and I have met, I've only seen that happen once, when you're like, all right, wow, I had a lot to work with. All right, you know what? This is awesome. I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm out.
You know what? Exactly. You couldn't even find the words at the end of it.
I was just like, I need to get the fuck out.
Like, all right, I gotta go recharge, man. I'm gonna take this back and I'll work on this later. I'll come back to you later on. See you later. But we were on the call for like 2 hours, something like that.
Yeah, that was crazy.
We had
the reason we were on that call, ladies and gentlemen, is because yes, Sam and I are partnering up in business, boss level CEOs mastermind. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is for anybody who wants to go from 5 to 6 figures in less than a year.
Yep.
Guaranteed. And matter of fact, the truth of the matter is most of the time, the reason people can't is because they don't actually have an accountant and they don't have a mindset coach in the beginning.
Yep.
Right. So a lot of the times, oh yeah, I got this idea. Where did you even get this idea for this business? Let's talk about why you even think that way first.
Right.
Maybe you shouldn't even be doing this business model. Oh, why'd you price it this way?
Yeah. And
then you get mad 3 years later because you've been doing the same thing over and over again.
See it all the time. And then you get a new shiny ad that comes your way and says, learn how to make 7 figures with Instagram, and you don't have to do anything. Lift your finger. You can do Instagram with a broken thumb and still make 7 figures. That's not how it works, people. That's not how it works. So until you get to the next shiny object, why even bother trying to do everything on your own? It's hard. There's 1,000 courses out there.
Yep.
They all do their own job. I'm sure they all work in their own capacity, but there's nothing like working directly with a coach.
Right.
I've experienced it. You've experienced it. Countless others have experienced it. That's the best way to get to where you want to go without making the stupid mistakes for 3 years trying to get there. I'm guilty of that.
I'm guilty as hell of that, man. I've been program to program, YouTube video to YouTube video, and the next one looks better than the next, the previous. And so for folks that are listening in wondering, well, what's different about ours, is like there is no other mastermind or whatever you want to call it, course, program that you're actually going to be held accountable, and you do not get to move to the next month unless you pass and do everything we tell you to in the month 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so like if you don't meet with our accountant, if you don't meet with Sam in month 1, you don't get to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Other courses, programs, whatever you want to call it, you basically, you get what you get, and it's your responsibility to complete the material.
Yeah.
And that's just not the way that most of us learn, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And think about it like this: you didn't go to 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade without passing the year before that.
Right.
So think about it like that. If you want to level up and you're just not doing your end of the job, then you're not going to move into month 2 and 3 with us. So you have to be aware that you got to put in some work. Nothing's going to be handed to you, but it always comes with just starting. We're going to help people do that. That's the hardest part. So
absolutely.
Yep.
So for folks that are interested, okay, you can reach out to us directly. You can also reach out to our admin team, Eliza, on Facebook. And we're only accepting 3 or 4 people into this. It's going to be very intensive. Okay, this is not some group bullshit where everybody meets in a group and sings Kumbaya and talks about what did you meditate about today? None of that shit. Okay, what we're going to really do is sit with you one-on-one, and you're going to sit with our accountant, and we're going to make you pull up your QuickBooks account.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to make you write down what your limiting beliefs are.
Right.
And if we can't get over them, right, you can't move on to the next part of actually growing and running the business.
Right.
CEO mindset.
Yep. And here's the reason why we're only taking 3 to 4 people right now. Right. It's not because there's limited seating available,
Right.
or whatever bullshit that the countdown timers are going to tell you on any landing page, right? The reason is because this is so intimate that we really want to be able to get you where you need to be. And to be able to do that, we can't do that with 20 to 30 people in the group in one class with us. So we like to make it very intensive, but very intimate at the same time. That's how we give you the most attention. Again, go back to the focus. If we focus on 20 students, what's going to happen? 5% are going to be successful. So I think we're really cooking up something really, really beneficial to you guys. So I want you to pay attention to that. Right? I'm a brilliant guy, and I will take care of all the mind work. All right. So how we looking, buddy? Are we good with time, or are we?
Yeah, man. I think we are. I think we got about 2-3 minutes. Let's do a couple questions. I'm gonna ask you some questions about what to expect in this mastermind. Okay, so this is the beta, y'all. This is called Boss Level CEOs Beta, right? So when does it start, Sam? How do I apply, and when does it start?
When does it start? Well, I think we were kind of thinking, depending on the rollout of it. I mean, obviously, let's get started as soon as we get a good momentum of people coming in. Even if we get 1 or 2, that's totally fine. But obviously, the capacity is 4. We're not taking more than that for the time being. So, I mean, let's aim for mid-September, get launched with it.
Right on. Love it. That sounds good to me, because we're announcing it right now, y'all. This is live. So
this is real. This is not practice. This is impromptu conversation that we're doing here. So there's no pre-pitch, practice or anything like that. I'm thinking September. Let's see, what's second week of September? Let's take a look.
14th or something like that.
Is it the 14th? That is the 13th.
Yeah.
So we are now accepting applications. It's going to close out on the 6th. Why? Because we need time to prepare, do some pre-interview questions. We don't want just anyone in the program. We want to make sure that you are going to be a good fit for us. We can actually deliver what we are saying we're going to deliver, which we can guarantee. Okay. So applications turned in no later than the 6th. We're going to get started and rocking. Let's do this.
Right on, man. So how do I know if I should even apply or not? Like, am I qualified? Am I wasting my time? Is it too expensive for me? Like, what are some things you can tell me about that?
Well, here's the fun part. If you're even thinking about applying, apply. Let us be the one telling you not to. Okay. Because that's where it starts. Because we don't know where you're at with your business. We don't know if you're looking to get started, in which case we help you too. But if you're looking for the next level up, how to delegate some tasks, this is where you got to be. So if you're thinking about applying, think about this. If you had a fast track of getting from A to B, would you take it? We're literally telling you, stick with us for a few months and watch yourself really level up, not just with revenue, but as a person. Personal development is super crucial to becoming the person that you can be as an entrepreneur and in your business, as leadership in general, right? So think about the way that you've currently, think about the things that you've been doing and what you're currently doing. Has it worked? Has it worked for you? My guess is not, if you are really thinking about applying, right? That's the starting point. Just apply. Just take action, send the application. Kev will set it all up. We'll both set you up and put you in the right direction. But yes, just apply. Let's get started.
Let's go. If you want to apply, okay, we're not going to do some fancy blah, 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 make it hard, portal, all that kind of stuff. All I need you to do is DM one of us or Eliza. We'll take it from there. Okay?
Yep.
All right, y'all. Man, this was crazy. This was awesome, man.
I'm pumped, dude. I'm really pumped. I mean, I knew it was only a matter of time before you and I worked on something together that's truly special. We both value the same things, and that's results. That's people. That's community and giving, right? I love that, dude. I'm really, really excited to be a part of this with you. So I'm glad we had a chance to collaborate.
Man, the pleasure is mine, dog. Woo. Man, I'm on cloud 9, bro.
Let's get it, man. Let's get it going. Absolutely.
Awesome, brother. Well, hey, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. All virtual. You know what it is. Please connect with Sam Becker on Facebook. Just shoot him a DM. Also follow his group. Okay, what's the name of your group, Sam?
the Entrepreneur Mindset Society. So if you
Yes.
type that in, I'll go ahead and put that in the comments on Kev's video here, and then you guys are happy to join. Talk all about mindset.
Perfect. Yep. Mandatory. Get your ass in there.
There you go. I love it. I love it.
Awesome. All right, buddy.
Guys.
Peace.